Guys, Jess from Knockout Print Shop, and today I have for you a completely non-sticker related video. I'm going to do kind of like a mini review of my new bullet journal notebooks and show you how I quote-unquote set up my bullet journal situation. So I was looking for notebooks, and actually I wanted more of like a skinny traveler's notebook type of deal to throw into my traveler's notebook cover to like just jot down things on the go, because I feel like sometimes my planner, I try to be too organized so I can't brain dump really well in my planner. And while I like using like our vertical half sheets to do things like scribble down notes, I was like, oh, I need to have something I can have with me or that's just paper. So I put out like a recommendations question on our Facebook group, and one of our Facebook group members suggested Archer and Olive notebooks, and I picked up one, but I have two, which is to help display for you guys why I think this company is pretty awesome. So Archer and Olive is a women's owned company, and she makes notebooks, dot grid and grid paper. I haven't looked extensively at her site, but she has a couple different sizes. I think I got the A5. I can't even remember. And anyway, she makes these awesome notebooks with really thick paper, and I will try to remember to put all the details up here so that when you're watching this, I'm giving you the accurate data. So anyways, I ordered this one, and the shipping was really fast. I can't remember, I want to say maybe 3 to 5 business days, somewhere in there. And I got this. So I was actually sent the wrong one, but I immediately emailed them with a picture of it in my invoice, and they got back to me right away and sent me this one and told me to just keep this one. So I wanted the teal one with the little bee, which the irony of that is I'm scared of bees. And I wanted graph paper, so the grid paper, just to flip that open and show you. And this one was actually dot grid. So I'll show you the difference between the two. But anyways, these are really sturdy covers, and the paper, again, I think is 160 GSM. There is a nice little pocket back here. Probably not something I would use, but I think that's kind of a common, obviously, notebook thing. Again, really nice sewn. They lay super flat, you guys. These are like almost every page lays really flat, which makes writing, drawing super easy. You have, I think, yeah, one, two, I don't know. Maybe these are supposed to be in half. They are 2 tassels. You have a pen loop, and you have a book band. So this is the one I wanted. And now this one is off to the side while I test out bullet journaling in the mistake one that I was sent. So this one is, I'm not a floral person, so this is not my jam, although I do like the texture of this cover. It almost has like a faux leather feel. This is a little bit more like a linen type of fabric versus more like a smooth leatherish kind of softer fabric here. So same exact thing, pattern front and back. You have the tassels, the band, and the pen loop. So I'm going to show you now how I set up my bullet journal, and I don't even think I can officially say I'm setting it up because I have no clue what I'm doing. I watched some videos to try to get some ideas, and I wasn't really sure exactly what I wanted to use this for, other than, again, I needed blank pages to brain dump on, and I didn't want any separation of space like in a planner, and I wanted the freedom to come up with like lists and do different things and free up some mental space. So I'm in the process of figuring this out. I think it's going to be very useful to me as I kind of work out the kinks. Okay, so let's open this up. Clearly I don't write ever on this book belongs to page. I left this page blank, this first page, because I know in bullet journaling you're supposed to have an index or kind of like a table of contents. So if I do that, I would use this page. I probably should have left more than one page for that. I didn't. At this point, I'm just playing around. So it's kind of nice that I got this one as an accident, because it's like my test out bullet journal situation. And these aren't super expensive. I think they're like $30 each, which for this quality of paper and stuff and customer service, I think is awesome. Okay, so first thing I did was create a month view calendar. Clearly, I need to take hand lettering classes because I have no idea what I'm doing, and that's actually one of my annual goals, is to learn how to hand letter. So I would like to one day have those pretty bullet journal spreads that others have, and I'm trying to do function over prettiness right now. So I looked at a few monthly views to see what people did. I know some people do the kind of running date vertical thing. I don't think I can look at my month like that yet. I think I still need to look at it a more traditional calendar view. So the purpose of this, obviously I have my Inco Press as my kind of go-to planner, but the purpose of this was going to be more for specific things and kind of memory keeping and goal setting. I don't know. It's evolving. We'll see. So we have a standard kind of 31 days for July. And then over on the side here, I wrote a few goals and I just kind of categorized them into 4 categories. We have financial, social, adventure, and health. And then I put a to-dos this month down here. This gets redundant, you'll see in another page, because again, I'm just kind of working out how I want to use the space. And then what I'm using this for right now is just to highlight the things that I did that coincide with my goals or the fun things. So it's kind of like a memory / goal keeping thing. So you have things like my anniversary, clearly that's not a goal, but I had a couple, I said I wanted to have 3 social outings, so I like color coordinated that with my mild liners, my 3 friend dates I had, and then all the orange are my adventures Matt and I have gone on. So that's so far what I'm doing, and then health, obviously, with the doctor's appointment there. So this is like my month at a glance of cool shit that's going on in this month. And I think this will evolve next month, and we'll see where it goes. I am numbering my pages in case I do a, what do you call it? Index. Okay, so the next page, I was like, this is definitely one of the main things I wanted the bullet journal for, was for habit tracking and tracking different things. This looks like a beautiful mind, okay? Way too many numbers, and I can't believe I wrote 1 through 31 like 14 or more times. So I got this idea of like kind of doing this version of a habit tracker from somebody on, I don't know, I Googled it. And had I thought this through, I would have carried this over to 2 pages, so I could have wrote the dates one time versus having to write them 100 million times. So basically you're taking 2 line heights for the habit itself, and then you're taking those 2 lines worth of date spaces. So this was a little bit tedious. Talk about therapeutically writing things down monotonously, but it kind of works. The other thing I've learned so far is you want to try to write down, at least for me, less is more. So this is not gonna, as much as I like kind of how this looks, I need to, again, I think take it across 2 pages. So there's one thing I've learned, or maybe turn it and go that way. The other thing I've learned is don't use so many damn colors. So I was like, I'm going to use my mild liners finally. And I like made each one that I marked off a different color. That's stupid and a pain in the butt to have like all my mild liners out and trying to like check off as I go. So that was stupid for me. I don't enjoy that. I need to either make an X or just kind of standard keep one color to mark off habits. That's my life anyway. So this is my AM. So basically what I'm trying to do here is this month I was trying to really solidify healthier morning and evening routines and get a better sleep schedule and just really kind of embrace like my circadian rhythms and breathing, stuff like that. I could do a whole video on this, but anyways, so this is my, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of morning routine habits. Getting up by 6, making sure I drink a glass of water that's right next to my bed, so lukewarm, room temperature water. Read in the morning before I get out of bed, then I get up and miss my plants. Take my supplements before I eat. I do like 6 calming breaths before I eat breakfast, and then I do not pick up my phone to look at it until 9 a.m. So that is my morning routine. Then my PM routine is similar, making sure again that I'm breathing, taking those 6 breaths before dinner. I wear blue blockers to help fall asleep better and to reduce all that blue light that really jacks up our sleeping and our health and all of that. So I put my blue blockers on by 8. I read. I journal, which I'll talk about in a second. My phone is down. I do not touch it after 8 p.m. I get a little bit more flexible on this on the weekends. I might let it go to 8:39, but for the most part, it's down by 8. It's a really good habit to get into, getting away from your phone at least 2 hours before you go to bed. The meditation thing did not happen. I needed 7, and I thought, well, maybe I'll do this. If you guys have been watching my videos, you know I have not gotten into a habit with meditating yet, but I'm feeling that it's coming soon because I'm getting better AM and PM routines. And then in bed by 10. Oh, see, clearly I used even the wrong color. This is why you can't have a million colors to track. And then these are just 2 extras, so I'm just making sure, like, if I'm getting close to my water goal, or at least if I focus on it. I'm not trying to do this perfectly, this water thing. I'll explain that over here, but this is just saying, okay, you did more water than you've ever done before. And then I'm on the specific carbohydrate diet and just checking off that I adhered to it 100% that day. Okay, so then we have the TMI. Welcome into the world of Jess's health situation. So I have IBD, I have ulcerative colitis, IBS, you know, the whole thing. And recently, the past couple months, was going through a flare and could not really get a grasp on what was going on. So I started this specific carbohydrate diet and a couple other things to try to reduce my symptoms. And I have the Cara app to track my symptoms. I also made what I call my poop journal, where I write down all my food in more detail and reactions to it. I track everything so I can know when I'm introducing a food and what happens when I do that. And then this is kind of like my poop tracker at a glance. So I have my symptoms down here, and then this is the dates going up, and then I just mark down that day if I had that particular symptom. And the good thing for me with this is it really quickly lets me see at a glance the improvement in a symptom. So I'm not just flipping through week after week of my poop tracker and looking to see the improvement in symptoms. This is super easy for me to go, oh, this symptom is improving. That's, you know, how many bowel movements a day and the quality, again, TMI. But if you yourself struggle with IBD or IBS, something like this may be helpful for you. In conjunction with that, I'm not a huge water drinker. I don't dislike water. I just have a tendency to not reach for it that much. I don't really ever feel dehydrated either, so I don't think I need a lot of water. That said, when you're going through health issues, it is good to be hydrated. So I've been trying to focus on drinking more water. I have a hydro flask, this guy, which is 18 ounces. Can you see that, or is the light blocking? So hydro flask. So I have that, and I just kind of like put the quantities it would be for every 18 that I drank up to a gallon. Clearly, the closest I've gotten is to half. So I'm getting there. I think I would float away if I drank a gallon of water a day. My bladder and body is just not ready for that much water. But it does help me see, and I didn't start this until that day, so that's why. You can also see some of these habits didn't start until mid-month. That's also why there's an X out. And then this little space here I use as my food introduction checklist. So as I'm introducing foods, they're the foods I want to introduce. I highlight them green if I was pretty okay with them, yellow if it was a little iffy, like I got some symptoms, and I would use red if it was like, oh, do not do that because that jacked you up. So this is how I use the tracking situation here. Okay, now we'll get into this not very useful thing I called my July dashboard. I kind of envisioned this thing where I would have this like go-to landing place for everything I needed in the month, but this didn't really work out well, so I don't think I'm gonna do this again. I need to kind of rethink this as like a monthly, I don't know, do you guys do that, like a monthly projects, goals, like a central place for all that stuff? Maybe I just don't have that much going on to need this. I don't know, I need to rethink it. But I just kind of was like, okay, here's the personal things I need to get done this month. They don't have to get done on a particular day. The business things I need to buy that month. And then I was gonna do like a weekly, because I have these things I do every single day, like my admin tasks. I should have called this daily and put this here and then put like week 1, 2, 3, 4. I like totally spaced and just jacked this up. So these are actually daily tasks I do every morning that are administrative that I like to kind of check off. And in my Inkwell, I use the daily task for that. And I kind of wanted a hub for that, but I just was not thinking or paying attention when I drew this little chart and it got messed up. Then I thought, okay, well, the beginning of each week, I'm gonna have a this week section to dump all the this week stuff that needs to get done, unload all that out of my brain, and then as the days go by in my daily log, which I'll show you, then I will, you know, transfer them and do them and migrate them over, whatever the bullet journal fanciness is. Oh, there's my little bullet journal key. So this came in kind of helpful. I think maybe next month what I'll do is just maybe even make like a this month brain dump and make it 1 or 2 pages, because this clearly did not get that full I just need to figure out how to brain dump because I just hold too many things in my mind. And I think as I get more accustomed to bullet journaling, it's going to help me, but I'm still learning, so I'm kind of not sure how I'm using all this space yet. Okay, so that was the purpose of that. So I think I'm just going to keep using this as an ongoing this week list. Then we have my random kind of like collection pages here, using all the fancy bullet journal lingo. I wanted to get kind of back into my journaling again, but one thing I don't love about journaling is I'm not really finding much benefit in sitting and kind of like just reflecting on the whole day and writing down what happened, especially because I do plan, so I can look back at my planner. I created this little guide to kind of have like the highlight of the day and things like that. So I was like, what do I want to get out of journaling? I know I want to journal, I just can't really figure out what to get out of it. So I've read the Essentialism book by Greg McKeown, I think his name is, and he says commit to like 5 lines a day and then make it that so that you can always stick with it. And then I've seen other people either in bullet journaling or somewhere talk about 1 line a day, and I was like, aha, I need to scale back even more to at least get myself to do this again. So I just made a 1 line, that's all I can write, whatever fits in that line. Sometimes it's just a thought from the day. It's kind of maybe will coincide with something that happened that day that was on my like fun calendar. You know, I'm not figured out how I want to journal yet. I just know it's a useful tool. I just need to figure out the best way for me to do it to get the most out of it, and I haven't figured that out yet. So this is good, I think, in the interim to get me in the habit of journaling and keeping it as literally as simple as I can until I figure out my life. So if you journal, let me know below like how you do it and what, you know, what format you do it. Do you use prompts? I don't know. I just haven't found the right thing for it. So give me tips if you have any. This actually was exactly what I wanted. I needed to dump all the ideas of things I wanted to do this summer. So I have a summer bucket list, and clearly we've done a lot of them. So that worked out perfect. Then we get into daily logs. So I did the daily logs just like traditional old school bullet journaling. So wrote the day, don't mind these ugly little designs. I had like drawn an arrow and I didn't like it, so we have this ugly design here. But I basically use the bullet journal codes like the dot, the line, and the circle, and just as things were coming to my mind I needed to do, and then marking them off, and just did that all week and just only using the amount of space that I needed for that day. So that's basically what I did all week, and I do like that. I think I need to maybe even unleash more out of my brain to clear out some mental space. Like I think I'm still holding back, like I just need to write everything. Do you know what I'm saying, guys? Do you just need to brain dump everything so you quit holding stuff in your head? I just need to even write even more. And I actually came across a really cool bullet journal video. If I can find it, I will link it below, of this woman that was kind of talking about the 7 or something mistakes that people make when they start bullet journaling. And one of them is like getting too creative, because in the midst of getting so, you know, creative and spending so much time designing your spreads, that sometimes it'll lead to missing the point of bullet journaling, which is supposed to be about getting everything out on paper so your mind can be more at peace. And it wasn't about like don't decorate if, you know, like that's not right, but more about if you're trying to get the full benefit of bullet journaling, to sometimes just daily log the way bullet journaling was intended to, so you can clear up more space and get all the benefits of having much more peaceful mental state. So yeah, I just went through there, and then you can see like this blue and pink. So blue being business and pink for personal. That's what I'm going to use here in the next video to go and do my like reverse planning. And then at the end of the week, Saturday and Sunday are super light for me. I'm like, oh, I'll just make like, because I have this space here, I'll make a weekend review. Just wrote down some memories, some wins, some insights, and like a little like next week, what do I want? It will be an adventure. And then we start again today. So that is my bullet journal setup. I am liking it so far. It's in the summer when I'm not as my desk as much and I'm not as focused on big projects, and I want some I just need to get things out of my head. I know I keep saying that, but I think this is gonna work pretty well. And it's actually kind of cool that I got a bonus one that I didn't even pay for. So thank you, Archer and Olive, for awesome customer service. Yeah, so let me know if you guys bullet journal, if you have an Archer and Olive, if you want one, if you have questions about it. Oh yeah, I ripped out a page here. But I think this will definitely be good, at least for my health tracking stuff. I think that's been huge. I do like this memory keeping aspect here and having some lists. And I think I'll figure out this part as I go, and I'll let you guys know how it evolves. But now, if you want to watch the next video, not sure if it's going to come out in the same week, but the next video will be me taking these lists and putting them into my ankle press planner. Okay, that was way longer than I thought, but let me know if you guys have questions, and I'll see you in the next one.